Hey, thanks for slithering in. Today we are recreating the White Rabbit's house from the original Alice in Wonderland animated film using just the new Wonderland Playroom kit and base game. Thanks again to the Sims Creator Program for providing me with a code to check it out. When the news dropped that we were getting this kit, I wasn't really sure what I was going to do with it. Since I am a big fan of Alice in Wonderland, especially the original film, I thought it might be fun to try to recreate the White Rabbit's home that Alice stumbles upon. I'll have a reference image on the screen in case you are not familiar with it, but this is where Alice ends up eating those biscuits that make her giant to the point where she's got arms and legs sticking out of the window. The shape of the build has come together at this point. It's kind of funny looking, but also kind of very simple, with just a small box on bottom and a bigger box on top. It's very unique in that way, and the reference picture really reminded me of like a little Tudor style, so that's why I'm here in Windenburg. But I had to take some creative liberties with the wallpaper being used, only because I am limiting myself to base game and the new kit itself. So I couldn't use the two-door wallpaper that would have come with Get Together. Unfortunately, I think that would have looked like really well. Instead, I do use one of the wallpapers that comes with the kit. We get a couple of like really pretty bold color swatches to this wallpaper, which I think was really fun, and we're using it here. And then also I had to grab the Wonderland door as well, only because it's very whimsical and I think it really needed it. So it's not an exact replica, but I did my best. We don't have like round doors like we do in this reference picture, which I think would actually look really cool. And also finding like a dark pink to really match the reference wasn't gonna work either. But I really like this kind of more cutesy kind of take on it, so hopefully you guys enjoy it as well. I am curious though if any of you gotten this kit or have played with it yet, because it's been out for a minute now, so let me know. I really want to hear what you guys think of it. I have some thoughts. So I first off personally don't know how much I will use the items. A lot of them are very big, they're very bulky. I think I tend to build on more of the smaller side usually, so I can't see myself using them too much, but I do think there are a lot of cute items for like kids' rooms and playrooms and stuff like that. Maybe a cool like community lot would be fun to do with some of these items too, so maybe we'll think about that a little bit. So now I want to try and get some of the landscaping together. So we're going to play with some terrain paint and try and mimic the stone path that we have going on. The outside, I wasn't too worried about completely recreating based off the reference picture. So we're going to like get rid of that now that we have the shape and the kind of general idea. I did want to bring in a lot of color with the landscaping too. I used this cute little mailbox that came with one of the rewards events things that we did a little while ago, which actually reminds me I have to finish the current one. And I'm glad we are talking about this because I am going to write that down so that I do not forget. I am actually just starting my vacation from work today, and that's why I actually have time to sit down for this voiceover finally, because I've been kind of tying up some loose knots and things before I took my time off. But every year around this time, I take a week off in March because it is my birthday week, and I refuse to work during my birthday week. Just no, definitely not. So I'm excited for a lot of playing Sims, maybe exploring some new games that I've had on my radar for a little while. But I'm going to pause in that and talk about what we're doing here. So I remembered that we get like this little Cheshire cat plushie with this kit, which one I think is adorable because I love the Cheshire cat, and I thought it'd be fun if he was sitting up in a tree, kind of like in the Alice in Wonderland movie. So I'm kind of using T.O.O.L mod to kind of rotate him and make it kind of look like he's laying on this branch. I thought this was super cute and such a cute little detail, so I'm very proud of that. We've got a lot of the landscaping kind of figured out, as you can see for the flowers and bushes. We lean into a lot of pinks and reds, I think, or unless I'm misremembering what a different build that I'm working on. I don't remember if I get any yellow flowers in here. Maybe not. Maybe it's just pinks and reds. And then we're using the flat garden stone path that you can find in one of the debug menus. It's either live edit or show hidden objects. I can't quite remember off the top of my head. I usually have both of them enabled anyway, so it is what it is. But those are base game in the debug menu, and those come in handy with a lot of my builds. So I really like this item, and I thought it added to the whimsy in the backyard or side yard. I don't know. But then I thought this would be a cute little place for a little tea party. I really love these chairs with the stuffed animals on them. I think it's really cute. My only gripe with it is I wish that we had some other types of stuffed animals on the chair. So I did get a white rabbit and kind of put him up on like an empty chair, just really to add some variety, but I just think they are so cute. I also really like that the chairs, like the back of them, look like little keys. I think that was adorable. Like, there are so many little Alice in Wonderland references in this pack, which is not really surprising given the name that it's the Wonderland Playroom kit. And then on this side of the lot, to kind of finish it up and make the lot look a little more complete, I added some debug fencing and just some more landscaping, a couple of trees, some more flowers and bushes. So I kind of paired these fence posts with this different fencing. I don't think they're typically supposed to match, but I thought it looked cute. And then we're just going to add some detailing and shadowing with terrain paint, which is always a fun little trick until all of your terrain paint disappears, which I was working on a larger build recently. I said that so weird, I'm sorry. But I was working on a larger build recently where that happened, and I was so mad. I was like, oh my god, why did I do landscaping so early? Anyway, I digress. We're talking about the Wonderland kit right now, and we have moved on to the interior. In here, I did look at some screenshots and references from the movie as well, but I wasn't really too concerned with completely recreating it. So in the movie, they have like this dark wood floor and like bright pink and purple walls. So we're using this like diamond shaped wallpaper that came with the kit, and then this dark black wood flooring, which I thought was kind of a fun vibe. I don't think I would have like naturally tried this combination ever, so I thought it was kind of fun to kind of challenge myself in that way. Figuring out the kitchen was really hard with the cabinets and everything and kind of this layout. It's a really small space down here. I ultimately think I keep these blue cabinets here. I think it kind of helped bring in more of the colors in the furniture that I end up placing a little later, and just kind of break up the dark contrast between the black and the pink happening. We didn't really have room for a living space down here, so instead we just have that little dining room next to the stairs. I don't even think I can call it a dining room. It's like more of a breakfast nook, maybe. So, I don't know. We separate, I think. Do I keep this separation? I might not keep the full separation. We'll have to see. I end up getting this framed TV, which at the time I didn't realize was a framed TV. I thought it was just a piece of artwork, and then my Sim started watching TV on it, and I was like, oh, okay, cool, you do you. So that is fun. I think that's a cute little touch too. I do wish we had more artwork. So I do think that the other piece of artwork we have is like just a decal sticker thing that usually I don't use those very often, but I do end up adding a couple of variations from the swatches from that item too around here. So instead of a full living room, I just get like a little entryway end table moment happening here, using mostly base game, and then we'll just grab some clutter, like probably a lamp, maybe some books. There is a cute little poof that I end up using. It's shaped as a little turtle, and I think it's just freaking adorable. Like, look at this. Oh my god, it's so cute. My boyfriend was actually sitting next to me when I was working on this, and I squealed. I was like, oh, look at that cute little turtle. Like, it's so cute. So, of course, we had to put a lot more animal clutter over here. We have the lamp with the fox. We have this woodworking bunny, like the wood carving that you can do if you're working on the woodworking skill. That's the thing. I also throw an alarm clock there. So I put a few clocks around here too, because the whole thing with the white rabbit, right, is he's late for a very important date. And he's got his stopwatch and everything, so he needs to know what time it is at all times, literally. Because honestly, same a little bit. I have time anxiety a lot of the times. I hate being late. I really hate it. And it really sucks when, you end up with a person in your life. No shade to my boyfriend or anything, who doesn't have time anxiety like I do and is kind of more laissez-faire. Maybe that's not the right word, but like more relaxed about things. And if I say I have to leave at 10 a.m., I have to be out the door 10 a.m. And if I'm any minute after that, I'm like, oh my God, the whole day is ruined. It's just, it is awful. So anyway, again, I digress. That's just a little bit about me. But here's the wall decal that I'm trying to stick on the stairs. It just wasn't sitting right, so I had to kind of use the tool mod to make it work a little bit, but I felt like we needed a piece of artwork over there. And then of course we get some flowers and things too, and then by the door in front of the stairs I end up with a grandfather clock and maybe a mirror. I think we end up with a mirror, and I think that's pretty much it for down here, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, I found carrots in the debug menu, apparently. But up here is where we have the bedroom and bathroom. We are going to start on the bathroom first as I try and figure out what I want to do with wallpaper, because I wanted to explore some more of the swatches, but not make it look too busy up here. I don't know, but I think I end up sticking with a base game floral one. But in the bathroom, it is full pink, like everything pink in here. But we get a tub, we get a toilet, and we get a sink, mirror. Pretty much your basics here. I do add a blue mirror up on the wall here that's from base game as well. I think that kind of nods to the downstairs, adding the blue cabinets and stuff. We get another clock in here. I think that's very important, especially if you're like in the bath and timing yourself and stuff, if you're that anal about time like I am. So we are trying to fit in so much clutter in here, but it was pretty hard because it's such a weird shaped room. But I think we made it work. I get another wall decal piece in here, not the TV. I get this one because it has a little door swatch, I think, kind of like a mouse door. So I thought that was cute. I also really liked putting these little kid wall arts up here from base game with the little bunnies, again nodding to the white rabbit himself. And I don't know, this is where I squeeze in that little door decal too, in that corner behind the plant. I don't know if it makes sense because we are on the second floor, but I guess it doesn't have to make sense because we're in Wonderland, right? That's the whole idea. It's just everything is crazy. As the Cheshire Cat does say, we're all mad here. We are finishing up with the lighting in here, and then we are going to move on to the bathroom. Up here on the landing, I do have a platform with some grass. I just thought that was kind of maybe a fun little nod to the nature aspect of things, and it was fun. I also wanted to make this cool little see-through landing with this bookshelf that goes through the wall. I actually really like this item. I wish we could maybe in the future, somewhere down the line, I don't know. The future of The Sims is very uncertain for me right now, and I'm not going to go into it too much because I'm still digesting it, to be honest, and I want to make sure I understand my thoughts completely on the matter. So, but I would love more bookshelf items like that, or like shelving unit items that kind of go through the wall. I think that would be kind of really fun. Obviously, we can maybe fake it and pretend with the bookshelves we currently have, but it's just not the same. It's just not the same at all. And then we have this cute little like reading nook item that I think is adorable. And I think you can technically fit like a sofa, like a two-seater love seat kind of item in there. But instead, I wanted to put the little bed in here. I do end up, spoiler alert, during the play testing, have to kind of play around with this to make it work. But it does end up being functional. So that is such a fun little detail, I think. And then finally, I find a little spot for this grassy end table, which I like that. I think that's cute. Again, I just don't know how much use I'll ever get from it either. Maybe that would look better in like an outdoor space, probably, but I don't know. Again, this bookshelf here I think is super cute too, but look how bulky it is. It just takes up so much space. And I know we can size things down with cheats and stuff, but it just is not the same. It's meant to be big and kind of out there wacky, and I like it, but it's just, I don't think it's going to make an appearance in like regular builds for me. So that's also kind of a bummer. I think having kits and things are supposed to kind of merge with your build style, and I think in some ways this can. I do like doing like crazy out there wild colorful builds from time to time, but in my normal usual style I don't think it would come in handy. I do really like this sofa. I think this would be cute in kids rooms too in the future. I can see getting a lot of use out of that as well. So overall I would say this kit is probably very mid tier for me. I like the items, I like the colors and things. I just don't know if it's going to be an always appearance in my builds. But with that said, we're going to hop into live mode. We are going to explore it and play test it a little bit. Welcome to Wonderland. Well, or at least the White Rabbit's house anyway. That's where Bob is at right now. We are going to do a little bit of a play testing and overview of this cute little cottage. For our overview, we have a tiny little living space where we have a kitchen, mostly just a kitchen. That's pretty much all you get over here. And then up here is our bedroom and bathroom, and I guess your living space as well. It's kind of all combined. Let's start with the yard here. I think this came out super cute with like the little gardening, but also we have a little bit of a tea time happening. Let's set it for the tea party. Oh, look at this. This is so cute. Drink pretend tea. You're not gonna sit down though? Look, he gets this little moodlet. How cute. Bob gets this cute little moodlet. Tea-rific tea party from drinking tea. A swirl of imagination and a dash of pretend play make this tea the best brew in town. How super cute. So let's look at this crazy interior here. We don't have too much clutter. You're gonna go, okay. What do I do with this? Do I just put it over here? I guess he's gonna go sit in his tea party. I don't know what he's gonna do. But this is our kitchen here. I know it's kind of small, so we kind of have to really get in here. But this is our kitchen. We use a lot of blues and pinks in here. We have no clutter on the counters because we need one functional counter, which this corner cabinet will be, and then we have another cute little table. I do really like how these chairs are like key shaped. I think that's fun. It's very Wonderland in here. Let's have some lunch. Let's make a corn dog. Ooh, okay, good. I'm glad we are testing this right now. So let's see if it's the plant, or what if it's the lights? Sometimes the ceiling lights can get in the way. I think it was the ceiling lights. So Bob's gonna show us that this kitchen is completely functional. As you can see, he is using the corner counter to prep his meal. Careful, Bob. And now the stove and oven completely functional as well. And our corn dog is ready. There's something about having a corn dog in this house that just makes sense. The rest of the space is used as like a little entry area for some storage. When I put this up on the wall, I didn't know it was a TV at first. So you have a little TV down here as well. And then of course we had to put a clock because the White Rabbit always needs to know what time it is. Upstairs. Now up here we need to definitely make sure that this bed here is fully functional. So I'm going to see if Bob can come and relax. I guess he's got to put his book away first, though. What about on this side? No. I was a little worried about this because of this little area here, but maybe if we scoot some things over. Oh, that ceiling light is there too. Let's see. All right, I am going to move this guy. You know, it would really suck if I can't make this functional. I wonder if I have to scoot it out a little more. Okay, well, that's fine. I think it's still cute. I think it still works. I think it made a really interesting headboard here, and it gave me an excuse to use this giant piece, because there's a couple of giant pieces in this kit, I gotta say. Like, for example, this bookcase, it's fun, but it's giant. And then, of course, we have more clocks around in this room as well. I like this feature over here where you can kind of overlook or look through the wall over the stairs and into this little platform area where there's just some random grass. Finally, we have our little bathroom, which I think came out pretty cute. It's very pink. It's very colorful. We have our little tiny door over here in the corner, and for some reason we can't get to the sink. I wonder if it's the plant. I might just delete the plant and then we can see. But I guess he's going to take a bath first. And I'm going to make him stop taking a bath so we can fix this. Okay, yeah. Our sink is functional now. I just had to get rid of the plant. Right, but overall, I think this came out pretty cute. I don't know how often I would use a lot of the items in this particular kit, but if you like a little whimsy, which I mean, I love a little whimsy, I think these can come in handy, especially for kids' rooms. Well, thank you all again for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Ring the bell so that you can get notified when my next video does go live. I also almost forgot to point out the little bunny rabbits here. They're so cute. But also, big shout out to my channel members. Thank you guys again for supporting me in this way. If you're interested in joining, it's a very easy 99 cents a month for some little emotes and things, but click join down below. Bob in his house is still hilarious to me. It's so not him, but that is all for today. I will talk to you all in the next one. Bye!